Clovis or Lubbock. And I'm hoping that I get an update that shirts are in stock before then.
There we go.
Welcome to the Smart Marks Podcast, your weekly look into all things professional wrestling. No matter if it happens in a square circle, a six-sided ring, or a plastic temple. Here to lay the smackdown on your earholes are your hosts, the Smart Marks, Matt Salgado and Jeremy Coleman.
You know, that was right this time. Matt and Jeremy Holman.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Has it never been right?
I am back. It wasn't right last week. It was just Matt.
Wouldn't
it be great if you just, like, dubbed over that when she said my voice when you were alone? Matt Salgado and Matt Salgado.
Mr. Black.
Mr. Black. You should.
Mr. Black.
Mr. Black. You should do that next time.
And vacant.
And vacant.
And vacant.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
Great.
How was the trip?
Fucking, you know what? I need a vacation from my
We
vacation.
talked about that before.
I'm so tired. Like, I'm still catching up. I'm off this weekend, thank God.
I'm blocking my face on Twitch. I don't care. It's fine.
I'm gonna turn it.
Nah, don't worry
I'm
about
gonna
it.
turn it.
No, it's this. This is blocking it. The boom mark.
I thought maybe if I turned it a little, it would
No,
get you in there.
I'm not kind of able. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I saw your sister last night at Starbucks.
I'm sorry. How was that?
That's alright. Although they did, okay, so the girl's cute, not your sister.
The girl that's with her?
No.
Like hanging out with her?
No. The barista girl
Oh, yeah?
was working the counter, so she gets a pass on this. But, so I told her I want to use my free drink, and she's like, "Oh, okay. What do you want to get?" And I was like, "I want to get a venti caramel frappuccino with 2 shots of espresso, 2 extra shots, because they put like coffee roast in it to give it the coffee taste, but they don't actually put actual espresso in it. So it turns into like a $7 drink when you do that." And so she's like, "Yeah, scan your card." And so I scanned it, and then like I walked away, and it's like, "You have $2 and something cents remaining from your $10 balance." I'm like, WTF, man? I just told you I have 2 free drinks on here that I wanted to use, and this is why I upcharge this shit.
Yep.
So, but she had a nice little butt, so she gets a pass.
What was her name?
I don't remember.
One of my new employees works at Starbucks.
Oh, okay.
And she's a morning girl. She works there constantly. She works with us in the evening.
She's cute. She's really tiny, but she's nuts again too.
Oh, that's Kim.
She's brown.
And?
Yeah, I bumped into your sister last night, and I thought that was funny. So
That's the only place you ever see her. Is
Starbucks,
there or getting Chinese food?
Or getting, yeah, or me yelling at her in the parking lot of Verizon. Outside
Yeah, that
the
happens.
North Verizon she works at.
Yeah. When you go out there to
They should just call it like Holman Wireless Services now.
Right? Right?
Universes.
My whole goddamn family works at Verizon now.
Okay.
We weren't the ones leaking stuff, by the way.
Oh, you weren't?
No.
Yeah.
See, today I got to deal with that shit.
No, I didn't. What happened?
There was
I did not see any news.
There's apparently some sort of hacker leak.
Uh-huh.
There was a security breach.
Was-
Human error.
Did they
security
send all your
breach.
leads out finally?
They did.
Ah.
Human error security breach within Verizon. Someone did not click something that they should have to lock stuff down.
Oh, okay.
And 6 million users' personal
no.
informations were leaked
So
out.
I'm probably got leaked out too.
So but you're on your brother's account, right?
Yeah, but
Well, if he caught it, he would have changed the PIN number. That's the main thing they're requesting.
Well, you know what? No, because today he was flying out to
Oh yeah,
to Florida.
that's the main thing they're requesting is change the PIN number on your account.
That's all I am. So
Yeah.
that's the deal. None of my social stuff's on there.
Luckily, that stuff came out like right before I got off of work, so I was like, "Guys, this is your fucking problem. I'm going home.
Peace out, nerds.
I'm getting the fuck out of here,
Yeah,
nerds."
Yeah.
So every time I hear Luke Gallows say "nerds"
I
to
love
somebody, all I can think about is the movie Ready to Rumble, where Ahmed Zappa is screaming at David Arquette. He's like, "You nerds, you little Jimmy the King fan nerds."
There we go. That's a lot better. I fixed it
But I
myself.
loved this week. I loved when they came out. We're talking trash to the Hardys. I loved all of their
that
little
was
jokes
awesome.
back
I
and
was
forth.
almost afraid they were gonna job out, man.
Right?
Just,
I'm glad they did. Like, I like the Hardys losing right now.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of
Kind of like a
sense.
double whammy, man. Like, you know, first they lose to Luke and Carl,
And then they got beat up by the Revival.
That was great. That was great to
Yeah.
see the Revival again.
Yeah.
Super fun.
I love that. Well, I love the play. They were talking about the Magic coming back, and they're like, "Well, we're the Magic Killers."
Yeah.
Like, it's perfect.
Yeah.
I knew that was coming the whole time, but still.
Listen up, nerds.
Listen here, nerds.
I like
You
how
two nerds.
Gallows says it, but he's like the biggest nerd in the whole locker room.
I love.
Listen up, nerds.
You notice they're not calling them the club anymore?
Yeah, what's up with that?
They're just Gallows and Anderson.
Gallows and Anderson.
I wonder if they're getting away from that purposely in case they.
Babyface.
Well, I wonder if they're doing that purposely to get away from the Bullet Club, so that way when they do try to reform the club in WWE, it's more of a pop.
Yeah.
So it becomes they let us forget about it and then they bring it back.
I reformed the Shield in WBTK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know they got teased this weekend at a house show, right?
Well, they kind of got
they kind of got teased on Raw.
That tease is going on now.
Well, it was even worse on a house show because Roman was getting beat down by Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman at a house show.
Yeah.
And Seth came to the rescue of Roman, and they beat the hell out of both of them. And the crowd started chanting Shield. And Seth grabbed the mic, and he's like, there's no way in hell you're going to get Dean out here when he's already been at a bar for an hour and he's 5 drinks in. He's like, but promise me, stay tuned, something special's coming.
Oh, that's cool.
And then Monday night, he had where he was trying to. So they're teasing something with the Shield.
Yeah, I kind of like that it hasn't happened yet. Like,
yeah.
That they're making us wait because it's been since like 2 years.
But you can see something going possibly, and it may be again we may get like the Wyatts versus Shield or something.
Yeah.
Because you've got Braun Strowman and everything going on with him and Roman Reigns, and then you've got Bray Wyatt facing off against Seth Rollins. So
and Seth has been babyface for at least
since his return, since the beginning of the year.
Yeah, so he showed it before Royal Rumble. So
yeah,
he's been babyface since then. So it's kind of surprised that we haven't got that Shield reunion yet. But,
right.
I like the fact that they're making us wait. Braun and Roman still got a great storyline.
That's the best thing is just drag it out as long as it can.
Yeah,
Make us want
that's
more.
good because we're gonna be clamoring when it does happen. We're gonna be it's not gonna feel like it was too soon.
Right.
And I'm glad that it didn't happen within a year. A lot of us kind of expected it to happen right away. Right. But I like the tease, and we did get those tidbits that one time where they all they did the triple power bomb and stuff.
Yeah.
And he
they did the double
fist,
power bombs and stuff.
He did the fist the Shield fist bump, but Dean and
they ignored him.
Yeah.
Get
out of here,
Before we get too far into Wrestle Talk, why don't we break down a pay-per-view?
Yeah, let's break down Great Balls of Fire. That's how you have to say it. Great
Fire.
Balls
of Great Balls of Fire.
Of
fire.
Hashtag WWGBF GBOF. One of the worst hashtags.
The Buff.
That's stupid.
Fucking dumbass name of a pay-per-view.
Yeah. They inaugural Great Balls of Fire, so I guess we're still gonna be using these.
Did you see why Vince named it that?
No.
Because he thought it was hilarious. Kurt Angle commented on it. He's like, yeah, someone pitched it to Vince. He thought it was hilarious, so we did it. He's like, that was the whole reason why it was done, is because Vince thought it was funny.
Did you watch that Kurt Angle 24?
I did. It's so good. I love the 24 series.
Yeah.
I really want to see the Kevin Owens DVD.
Yeah, that preview for the DVD looked really good.
And speaking of DVDs, AJ Styles is now our United States champion. You know why?
Why is that?
There's an AJ Styles DVD coming out.
The
company felt
all makes sense.
Company felt that they needed one more big moment for the DVD because it's been 6 months since he held the title. So they gave him that title so they could film it for the DVD.
Great Balls
of Fire. Great Balls of Fire.
Kicking off tonight, we had Neville defeated Akira Tozawa to retain his WWE Cruiserweight Championship match. Not bad,
not a bad match.
Was a surprise. I called for a Tozawa win.
I called for Neville.
Yeah, I didn't get it. Bray Wyatt defeated Seth Rollins. I liked it.
That was a pretty decent match.
I think I called it.
I think you did too.
I think I wanted a Bray Wyatt win, so I'm glad that it happened. Big Cass defeated Enzo. Wasn't a long match at all.
That was exactly what we expected.
5 minutes.
Shitty camera angle on his entrance when he puts his hand up in the air and covers the C. And he has terrible music, by the way.
You know what? They need to make a shirt that says Casshole on it. And
yes.
mark it under Big Cass.
Casshole.
Hashtag Casshole.
I loved that.
And just do it. They need to make that shirt. They need to jump on it before somebody else does and make the shirt, and it'll sell. I'll wear a shirt that says Casshole on it. That'd be funny.
I loved it.
Yeah. So good match. I liked it. Told the story what it needed to tell. And we didn't see Enzo and Raw, did we? I can't remember.
Yeah. Enzo came out on Raw.
Right.
Yeah.
There was parts of it where I blacked out.
Wait, no, he didn't. No, we didn't.
We didn't get Enzo. I don't remember.
Maybe I'm thinking of Raw before. I don't know, because Enzo came out there talking shit at some point.
I don't think he talked shit after getting his ass kicked like that. Cesaro and Sheamus defeated the Hardy Boys in the 30-man Iron Man match for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championship. They defend and retain their championships.
I'm kind of shocked. I
really
picked.
awesome match.
I love the way that I love them losing.
Yeah.
I love that match. That match was great, and I love the idea that we're going in with them losing. And every time they get beat down a little more, they're apparently becoming more and more broken.
They're starting to crack.
So I like that, but I expected the Hardys to win mainly because Sheamus is going off to film that movie with Josh Duhamel.
Yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3.
Oh God, I hope not. But I love what happened, the aftermath on Raw with Matt and
That's
Jeff.
what you're not getting that one.
I hope to God we're not.
Damn it.
What if they teased it and instead of reshooting anything, they just released the one where they go to Japan, to ancient Japan?
That's a shitty movie.
Yeah, I know, exactly. That's the funny part behind
Kim
it.
Holman mentioned me in a comment.
Um,
Your wife is sending me DMs.
I got tagged in the same thing. What
Oh,
was
it's a
it?
Star Wars fan film.
Ah.
Damn it,
We're
Kim!
filming! Ma, where's the meatloaf?
Sasha Banks defeated Alexa Bliss by count out. Alexa Bliss retains her championship. I called the Sasha Banks win. It happened, but just not in the way that I wanted.
Not the way you wanted it to. I
Alright.
dig it though.
I dig it. I'm okay
We're
with
moving
it.
forward with
Yeah.
a storyline. It's going to continue for a while.
It was good. I like the way that
We
it,
need longer stories in the women's division right now.
Yes. Yeah.
We need more women in the women's
We need
division.
more women. Yeah, I think even. Did you listen to Bailey's podcast with Stone Cold?
I did not.
Really good. She did actually a two-parter. She did one, and then one of the second part was her breaking down, her and Steve breaking down their first Sasha Banks Bailey match at NXT Takeover. Really
Nice.
awesome, yeah. Austin just kind of springs it up on Bailey, and he's like, "So we're gonna watch this. Tell me about this match right here."
Hey, we're gonna watch this match. Drink some Broken Skull IPA.
Yeah.
Hey,
Bailey's apparently a little bit of a beer drinker.
Yeah.
Oh, pretty cool.
shot of beer for the working man and woman.
Shot of beer for the working
Working in matches, yeah.
Yeah.
Crack open a couple Steve Weisers.
That's after Steve's drinking.
Walk out because Brock Lesnar's gonna win.
The Miz defeated Dean Ambrose to retain his Intercontinental Championship. No surprise there.
I dig it though. I love the Miz Rush.
Yeah.
I love the Mizzy ceremony.
Oh,
on Raw.
afterwards, yeah.
that was so good. I like what they're doing with Bo Dallas. Believe it or not.
It's good. Yeah.
The roadie
white
look.
glove, yeah.
Yeah. My wife asked me, she's like, "Why the fuck is he wearing white gloves? Is he trying to keep that palm soft for
Why
something?"
is he not? That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
I love
Dallas.
I love the slicked back, like clean cut.
Kurt Axel.
Yeah. It's so good. Like I love the
He
ideas
just
of
has that
Mizzy.
shitting grin on his face.
Yeah.
It's funny.
He's just fucking happy to be doing something.
He's like, awesome, I got a gimmick. Braun Strowman defeated Roman Reigns. I was a little bit surprised that Braun got the win, but
I called it. I figured Braun was gonna win.
yeah,
I like the way he won.
I like the outcome.
And I love what happened afterwards.
Jeez.
We got a double turn, right? Like let's acknowledge that now.
Who the hell is calling me?
They calling me. You should answer it on the phone.
It's local.
I know, just answer it.
But you know what? Though, it's probably like still us.
Yeah. Hey, dummy. When you answer it.
Dummy. Did you?
We got a double turn, right?
Did you watch that Eli Drake match at Slammiversary?
I didn't get to.
Cut off things overwatch.
I got through most of it. So we had to do laundry, and the fucking dryers in the hotel were terrible.
Yeah.
And the guy ahead of me had been drying his laundry just 2 loads for 2 hours,
Bro.
and they still weren't dry.
Bro.
So at midnight, like I still hadn't put my clothes in the dryer, and I had a pile of wet clothes. I was like, what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
So I just threw them all in a basket and drove 15 minutes to an all-night laundromat, and in less than 20 they were done. And I was just sitting there watching Slammiversary while I was waiting.
Cool. That's awesome.
Like, God.
Yeah.
I got to see bits and pieces of it, but I missed that Eli Drake match.
Yeah, it's really bad. I don't know. This
That's
match
sad.
is
Damn it.
kind of crappy. Heath Slater defeated Kurt Hawkins. That happened.
Yeah. So, all right, I think I saved the screenshot of the tweet. Let me see if I can find it. Because that match happened impromptu during the whole ambulance
trying to
scene.
make everything feel like a little bit real. I
Yeah.
guess as far as like, hey, go distract the crowd, and but people at home will continue to watch what's going on backstage. But apparently they were playing on the big screen too. So
I missed it. I guess I didn't save the text message, the tweet. But Heath Slater tweeted, and he was like, "Gotta win on pay-per-view tonight." And
I got kids.
Hawkins tweeted, and he's like literally sitting in catering with nothing going on, and the next minute putting on a shirt as I'm walking out the curtain and going into a match on a pay-per-view.
That is hilarious.
He's like, that's the business.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, it was so impromptu. They did not plan for that to happen. But when they realized they had dead air, they're like, no, go run, go out.
How funny.
That's why that match was put together so quick.
Chicken wings, probably. Eating a salad. Hey, you got a match.
That's why if you notice when Hawkins came out, he didn't have his staff, he didn't have his jacket, and he was adjusting his shirt. Like, they literally grabbed him out of catering. They're like, no, you two are on. Put together a match. Go now.
That's awesome. Good job, Kurt Hawkins.
But I loved I dig what happened, man. I like the let's murder Braun Strowman. And I loved him. He definitely became a face, walking it off and not taking.
Leave me alone.
Right?
I'm gonna go cry.
I shared it on the Facebook, but there's a petition for the arrest of Roman Reigns.
Miraculously so.
So I dig it. Like we have to. He's been heel, right?
Yeah.
He's been heel for so long, but they finally legitimized it. I would say.
Like I don't know, trying to murder somebody's kind of the heel move, right?
It was so good though, man. Like. Jamie Noble, let him put you on the backboard.
I like that.
Get the jaws alive.
Jamie Noble with the crowbar, and I'm just tweeting like, "What the hell is Jamie Noble gonna do?"
Right? It would be great if he pushed on it and the crowbar just threw him back.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Like cartoon style.
Yeah.
The look of bewilderment on Kurt Angle's face as Roman Reigns walks by.
Not wanting to, not knowing what to do.
Roman just walks by like, you didn't see shit, Kurt.
Yeah.
Like, it's so fucking good.
I didn't walk out of this ambulance.
I was text messaging back and forth with TJ as it was happening. I was like, I don't know whose bus that is, but they need to wash it. There's just blood all over that fucking bus.
I like the blood capsules that Strowman used are like really like real looking.
Yeah.
As opposed to the ones that Roman always used.
Right, and I love his elbow was just busted open and fucking bleeding.
Gross, yeah.
Go away.
He should have made the bone come out. That'd have been more believable.
Right?
That'd have been awesome.
That was so fucking good, man. I loved that. I loved that segment.
Yeah, it's good. It was a lot of fun. That was a fun match leading into the
best sign of the night was Roman has a weenie, dude.
Yeah.
You got that? You know what that was about, though, right?
It's just like, wow, okay.
You saw the rap battle, right?
No. Yeah.
Because remember they were saying that Kofi was saying that the Usos had a weenie, dude.
Yeah.
I love during the rap battle where Xavier told them to go back to carrying Roman's bags.
That's hilarious.
But you gotta love the rated R comment that has been stricken from
no longer in
the YouTube.
It's no longer in the history of WWE.
I love that they repeated it too.
Like, did you miss that?
Just in case you didn't catch it, here it is again.
Brock Lesnar defeats Samoa Joe.
You're
shaking your head no.
But
it was a lot of fun.
We had a great match.
Yeah.
It was a great match. That match, every bit of it except for the end was great.
The match says 6 minutes and 25 seconds, but that's from the bell ringing.
Yeah.
It doesn't include like the 2-minute beatdown.
Still felt like it wasn't long enough.
Oh, definitely not, because it's a Brock Lesnar match.
It finished way too quick.
We're never going to go past 10 minutes with a Brock Lesnar match.
And my main thing is just the finish. We put Samoa Joe away with one F5.
That's my big gripe was
one F5.
Yeah. And
he was put away. Like, I understand he got a bunch of suplexes and
stuff. 2 would have
been
good.
But one F5. Samoa Joe was a top guy. Like, let's not pretend that he's not.
I was hoping that he'd hit that F5 and take a long time to cover him. Samoa Joe kicks out. And then they go like a couple more suplexes, hit him with another F5, and that's the match. And that's
it. Yeah, I would have been okay with that. Maybe another minute and a half.
But I love Samoa Joe like rolling over and just being pissed.
Yeah.
And, like not laying down in the middle of that ring the whole night.
Yeah.
Like
which I liked, and I liked him coming back out on Raw.
Yeah.
I dig it, and I kind of hope we get a triple threat.
Yeah.
At SummerSlam.
I would love a rematch.
Rumor is he's dropping the belt to Roman Reigns at SummerSlam.
Oh really?
Yeah, they're supposedly advancing it because it was supposed to be WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And they're advancing it and getting supposedly trying to get Roman Reigns. But I got a feeling that something will happen with Strowman, and that is going to get furthered to SummerSlam, and we may end up with a Samoa Joe Brock Lesnar rematch.
A lot of credit does go to Roman, but like the ability to sell for Braun.
Yeah.
Like. Roman getting tossed around
the way he does,
yeah, the way that he does, like, and kudos to Roman for like.
And Braun has taken some really good bumps, like where he took the spear out of the back of the ambulance and stuff.
Awesome,
they work really well together. And Roman Reigns' character may be stale, and that's not on him. That's always on.
That's
creative.
The writing, yeah.
But I enjoy watching him, and I can watch him and Braun Strowman and even him and Brock Lesnar for years. Like that could just. We run those two only. Like if that's his only two opponents ever, But the rumor is that we're going to see Roman take the title after SummerSlam. And that's why they've had him lose to certain guys lately, like Samoa Joe, like Braun Strowman. So those guys can stake a claim to the title, and you have feuds set up for after SummerSlam. Okay. So
that'd be awesome.
I would dig it if it happens. We need to bring that title back because technically right now, both major championships on Raw and SmackDown are featuring what I would call part-time guys.
Pretty much.
Because Randy Orton's not there for this feud at all.
Yeah, where is he at?
So, I mean, let's do something to legitimize these feuds.
Yeah.
Let's do something to bring that title back. I mean, fuck, SmackDown has, in my opinion, over-legitimized the United States title. I love what they're doing. I love that title means something amazing right now. But it is their premier title right now. You have AJ Styles carrying that title and showing it to John Cena saying, this says I'm the best. No, I thought that other title that Jinder's holding says that you're the best.
Pretty much, yeah.
But I understand their effort to legitimize that U.S. title and make it something big because we're not doing much with the Intercontinental title on Raw. No. I love Miz being that champion, but we're just putting him in the same feud over and over.
If the idea is for Miz and Dean to fight forever,
they get the title off of them.
Yeah, it's something I can't be behind. I love the Miz, but I'm just so tired of this feud with him.
But SmackDown did the opposite in such a good way, and they did such a great job at it that they've overshadowed their major title. To the point that I made a joke, and I told you that in my game, I'm going to swap the two titles. I'm going to make the U.S. my major title.
Yeah.
And I like it. I like that we have shades of a triple or of a fatal four-way for that title. We've got John Cena, Rusev, AJ Styles, and Kevin Owens, all possibly in contention for that. 4 of the top names on that brand are all in contention for the minor title.
I've switched the titles around just to switch up the main events for all my shows. So I
dig it.
Plenty of times where I put the women's title as the major title.
That being said,
it could be the main one being
That being said, we got Ty Dillinger challenging for the title.
Yeah, we had him going against Jinder Mahal. That was actually pretty cool.
So let me find. There was a great, amazing back and forth between Ty Dillinger and The Miz.
I was telling Jeremy before earlier today that I changed the Universal title to blue.
Yes.
Moved it to the SmackDown brand. And I feel like it would do better on that.
I think I talked about it.
It's a dark blue.
Last time I was on here, right?
Yeah, possibly the title switching.
Yeah.
So
I would be okay with that. Yeah. And I like the way you did, the dark blue instead of the bright blue.
Yeah.
It would be great.
It was totally intentional, but I like the way that it came out.
So Tuesday after, Monday night after The Miz, was it Monday? No, Sunday night. I apologize. After The Miz won, Ty Dillinger replied to him and said, "Crafty win at Mike The Miz. Now how about you swing by SmackDown Live sometime soon? # Great Balls of Fire." The Miz replied, "Why? So I can watch you perform in the opening dark match? # IC title comeback tour." Ty Dillinger replied, "You mean you'd watch? Wait, do you need to steal more moves from somebody? Besides, I work magic in the dark. Just ask your wife."
Oh.
The Miz replied back, "The only magic anyone has seen from you is your disappearing act from SmackDown Live. And that, I give a 10.
That's awesome.
I was like, that's such a great back and forth. That's so awesome. Good, man.
It is really good.
They're on top of things. I really enjoyed that back and forth. Kevin Owens blacked out his picture on Twitter.
Yeah,
did you see that?
He's so upset that
he's no longer the U.S. champ. It's pretty good.
And it's he did it for the times that it being like that the U.S. title's being like such a horrible person or something.
Yeah,
like
something like that.
It's really funny.
It's pretty good.
It's good stuff. It's a way to be on top of everything. So
yeah.
It's pretty fun. Did we talk to me? Oh, we did. So,
yeah, we talked to me a bit.
Yeah, I mean, overall, Great Balls of Fire, not a disappointing pay-per-view or event or whatever we'll want to call it now. But I kind of feel that for the first off, hopefully we don't get another one.
Right.
Hopefully a new
name.
Maybe we get an old name that comes back.
How do we just? I mean, I know it's kind of a crappy pay-per-view, but how do we not take advantage? It was the week of July the 4th. How do we not have the Great American Bash?
Great American Bash come back.
Maybe that's where they started. It was supposed to be Great American Bash, and someone made a Great Balls of Fire joke, and that's
we
what
used to have the Great American Bash, and I don't know why.
It was the week of July 4th. Why did we not go with it?
Yeah, should have been. It would have been a little bit more sense.
Yep. Nope. Didn't get it.
Yeah.
Whatever. Terrible fucking name. We spent all that money, or they spent all that money for that fucking song.
Yeah.
For
just so that guy.
Shitty name. Jerry Lee Lewis? I assume so. Didn't he? Didn't he die the day the music died?
Didn't he die next
on the plane with like Richie Valens and all that?
His cousin bride?
Probably.
Yeah.
But he was on the plane with Richie Valens, wasn't he?
I don't remember. No, I don't think that was Jeremy.
We're gonna look it up. We're gonna look it up.
Wikipedia that. But he did marry his 14-year-old cousin. So not only is he a cousin lover, he's an underage cousin lover.
Cousin lover. You know who's probably a cousin lover? Jamie Noble.
Wasn't oh, he definitely is. Wasn't Nydia his cousin?
Right.
But the Tid music guy, Richie Valens, and what was the other guy? Like I don't remember. I just remember from La Bamba. Jeremy's doing some research right now. Who died in the day that the music died? When did?
Oh no, I'm wrong.
Oh, see.
No wait, no. Was his name really Aaron Lewis?
The Big Bopper. The day the music died. The day the music died. This is great. Oh wow! I said the Big Bopper as a joke, and he was totally one of them.
Yes.
That's hilarious. On February 3rd, 1959, rock and roll musicians Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and JP the Big Bopper were killed in a plane crash near Clear Lake, Iowa, together with pilot Roger Peterson. Wow. I think it's great that they just threw that name out there, and he happened to be that. That's pretty sad. Kind of sad that they made fun of that. So let's talk Impact. Let's talk GFW. Let's talk what the hell is GFW gonna do?
Yeah, because their fucking champion is suspended now.
We got a question from Alex. We're gonna kind of shoot into that early because we're jumping into this. But Alex asked, GFW just suspended Alberto El Patron due to recent allegations of domestic abuse. Is the company better off by cutting ties with them?
I think so. I mean, aside from so let's get into his crazy weekend. Let's start off with the main reason why they should probably start.
If you guys haven't watched the TMZ video, is Alberto at fault?
So, yeah, somewhat.
Somewhat? Okay.
Because,
I just thought Paige was crazy.
Paige was crazy too, but did you not hear a lot of what she was saying? She's like, I hate you, I want to get away from you. And he's like...
say it in Paige voice.
I hate you, I must get away from you. But Alberto...
I don't want to make
They're both fucked up.
I'm not here to make fun of domestic abuse.
They're both fucked up, let's admit that. Because he kept screaming that she had coke in her bag and for police to come arrest her.
Yeah.
So...
That's a crazy relationship.
Because she apparently screamed at him, she's like, you've been high on coke for 2 days. And he turned around and he's like, this wasn't in the video. This is because the woman that okay. Let's start with before the domestic.
That is Paige.
Before the domestic incident happened, GFW reportedly attempts to block Alberto El Patron from cutting yet another shoot promo on WWE. He was seemingly ready to shoot on WWE again after last night's Impact tapings. However, Anthem reportedly turned to up his music louder so that way it would stop him. One report says that Alberto Patron grabs a mic for the shoot. He says that it's that time of the night when he talks about that company in Stamford. His attorney, however, called him the night before and asked him, what the fuck are you doing? Stop it. You've lost enough money in your divorce. At that point, he tried to cut the promo. They turned his music up. He started talking louder, and they turned his music up even louder to drown him out. And he threw the mic down and stormed off. Then tweeted and said, Tuesday next week, a bunch of pussies will be in San Antonio. The man with the big nose and no balls, but also the pussies from the rap battle will be there too. Also with no balls, like their boss, all yes men. I'll be at my restaurant starting at 10 p.m. I'll be waiting for you there. 17776 Blanco Road, La Cantinita.
You're talking about the Usos, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you after I beat the shit out of you, I'll buy you all a drink because I'm a good man. Yeah. And then everything comes out about this domestic violence incident. So the first...
Which we at the Smart Rights do not condone.
By any means. So the first reports of it were just that he was being detained. It says there was an incident in Orlando International Airport about 3 p.m. Sunday involving Jose Rodriguez, date of birth 5/25/1977. The report of the incident was that a domestic violence battery, and it is still under investigation. No arrests have been made at this time, but the case remains open. That is all the information we have to release at this time from the police involved. Then her brother tweets and says, I've got to say I'm very worried about my sister. Please keep an eye on her. She had one prick known as Brad Maddox who took advantage of an 18-year-old girl, physically and mentally abused her. And now she's with a control freak who thinks he's a tough guy because he beats my sister and has money to cover his tracks. I love my sister and I'm afraid she'll end up like Whitney Houston or Amy Winehouse. Please share this. I want the world to know that I care about my little sister. Everyone keep an eye on her. You'll be angry at me, but I love you, and I'm writing this on behalf of all the Knights. And then the recording came out after that. In the recording, you can hear her scream, I just want to get the fuck away from you. I don't want to be with you. I want to get the fuck away. Let's see. The woman who did... Okay, so she did an interview. The woman who recorded it did an interview with theheavy.com.
Oh, jeez.
The woman who did not want to give it out her real name claimed that El Patron reeked like alcohol, and while he was arguing with Paige, yelled out that she yelled out that he was doing coke for 2 days straight. Patron allegedly responded with, check her bag, she has all the coke on it, it's hers. The woman believed that the argument started when and Paige stated that Paige's, according to the events, stated that she received a phone call about her uncle was in bad condition, and that Alberto said something very rude because she was on the phone for a long time, and she would not repeat what Alberto said, and she threw a drink in his face and stormed off. The woman stated that she believes the argument started when El Patron said something negative about Paige's uncle. From what I gather, he said, I hope your fucking uncle dies tomorrow.
Jeez.
And that's when she threw the drink in his face.
Jeez.
Paige claims that the reason he stunk like alcohol is because she threw the drink in his face, which I can see. But that's why she stormed off. And he grabbed her arm and her wrist to keep her there. And she kept yelling, I don't want to fucking be around you. I want to leave.
Yeah.
And I'm going to call the cops. He's like, you fucking hit me. They'll arrest you. And she's like, I don't give a fuck if they have to arrest me to get away from you.
That part I heard, yeah.
I'll do it.
Gets me away from you. Yeah.
But the woman says that Alberto told her straight up, I hope your fucking uncle dies tomorrow.
That's fucking nuts.
So my thing is, yes, the domestic violence is bad. But you have a guy who has a track record of drawing negative attention to him. And then we add the cherry on the top and the caveat of here's domestic violence.
Yeah.
Why do you not cut ties with him? What keeps him on your roster?
Yeah, I think if you're Impact, you're up shit creek, really.
We ready for this?
Do it.
Jeff Jarrett had a conference call today and addressed several topics about Global Force Wrestling. Here's a recap of what was said. When asked about if the GFW title is currently vacant, Jarrett would not comment much on it as there is an ongoing investigation. He also stated that the title is the least importance in regards to the situation. Jarrett says that he's been in contact with Alberto and his representatives. Jarrett says it is a priority to keep top guys with the company. So not that the statement was not that the most important thing was Paige's safety or Alberto's safety, but that keeping top guys with the company is the most important.
Yeah.
Doing as far as live events, Jarrett says they're looking into doing pay-per-view outside the Impact Zone, pending financial. They're going to start with doing house shows and then work towards doing pay-per-views outside of the Impact Zone.
They're going to start doing house shows again.
Yep. And Jarrett is taking pointers from WWE with the GFW brand and being more sponsor-friendly. On recent talent releases, he talks about they cut Shane Helms and Al Snow because of financial issues because they had too many agents to pay. They get back to Alberto. On removal of Alberto from future shows, Jeff came back to the question, says Patron's footage won't be edited out of the show because it would further damage our brand. Jarrett made it sound as if they won't be stripping Alberto of the title, but would not say it outright.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You're in a
it's just
spot. You're like, what do you do?
It bothers me that, our top thing is keeping Alberto there.
I kind of had to figure, if you have Alberto Patron there, and obviously he has all these things going on. He's mixed up with Paige, and everything that we hear from Paige is not good. I mean, not from Paige herself, but just in general, like the whole situation around him. Like, it's been like one thing, and to the point where even TMZ is covering it. Like, that's never a good sign. Yeah. To go ahead and just say, hey, we're going to invest in Alberto, you're taking that risk and investing in someone that's, one, hot-headed. He got fired first time around in WWE for slapping somebody. Yep. I mean, granted, I think he was in the right that time to do so, but in a workplace situation,
he obviously shows that he has a temper.
He does not know how to control his temper, and that's exactly what's happened. And I think there's a lot of guys on the GFW roster now, is what we're calling it, that,
I love that it's still the show's called Impact.
Like Drake, EC3, a lot of guys that have been like exemplary I can't say it, but like have been great role models as far as employees.
Yep.
Not role models in general, but just role model employees. You know, guys that have been there for a long time and over 3 years, and they haven't.
They would deserve a shot better than him.
Yeah.
And that's my thing is
I know EC3 just got his knee scoped, but
let's pretend that
the
Alberto Del Rio is not that shit crazy, and that he's not a hothead, and he doesn't make himself look like an asshole. Because even with all this stuff that's happened over the last week, let's go back to the fact of him flipping off cameras and stuff like that, saying fuck WWE and all this shit that he's done. Let's pretend none of that has happened and he's a model employee. He has still not been interesting in the wrestling ring since he ended his feud with CM Punk and ended up, in turn, losing that title a few months down the road to Dolph Ziggler.
And it's just
he's just not been interesting at all.
At the same time, you're like, yeah, exactly. Like, nobody goes to his show and was like, Alberto Del Patron's here. This is awesome.
He has not been interesting since they separated him from Ricardo Rodriguez.
Yeah.
That's just... He's a boring character. He's boring in the ring. He plays it safe. He's not a major name, and I don't understand why he's the name. We have a guy in EC3. We have a guy in Magnus who's back with the company.
Yeah, Nick Aldis.
We have a guy in who you let go in Drew Galloway or Drew McIntyre now.
Mm-hmm.
You have all these guys. Cody, you could have ponied up and had Cody as your champion, and instead fucking main eventing Ring of Honor with their title now instead, because you can't pony up and come to the table and make these guys your big name. But you'll settle for Alberto El Patron and try to make him your big name. We were better off with Lashley.
Yeah, sadly we were.
Yeah.
Put
the title on a younger guy and let's run with it. We were great when Eddie Edwards had the title.
Exactly.
I mean...
They changed it up. Yeah, it was kind of weird, and that title never really, was like... It was an interesting decision when they made him champion.
Get somebody, do the Ring of Honor model, get somebody on that title, somebody a little different, and let's let them hold the title for a long time and fight their ass off to hold that title.
You don't think Austin Aries will be back?
Maybe. Now that Austin's gone from the WWE, he might come back, and he's the guy you give it to.
Yep.
But who knows, man? And bravo for Austin Aries for leaving. Because I saw people trying to stand up for WWE and say, oh, they never did anything with him. They put him on WrestleMania.
He had a bad attitude.
You put him on WrestleMania, but you cut his match from the DVD, thus making it to where he makes no money in royalties for that DVD.
He got screwed over.
Bullshit. Yeah. They did nothing with the guy. Absolutely
He got
nothing.
stuck on the pre-show.
And good for him. So as it stands now, he's on a 90-day no-compete. He can compete at WWE-approved indie events, but that's it. And after 90 days, he can go wherever the hell he wants.
Evolve, huh?
Yeah. Evolve. Good for him, man.
Yeah.
Good for him. They were doing nothing with him.
I'm glad to see Austin free. That's the bad thing. That's good and the bad thing. We talk about all these people getting signed and kind of getting lost in the mix. And I brought that up plenty of times. Just not necessarily about Austin Aries, but just about some of the larger talents.
Yep.
As well. Hey, we had a debut this week on NXT. Actually, we had two.
Yeah, I got news to tell you too.
Yeah, we had tapings.
So
we had Bobby Fish.
Bobby Fish debuted against Aleister Black in a hell of a match.
Jamie Hayes, known in the Indies as Jamie Jameson, she was on, and so they had that new girl debut, and I can't believe they had her get the win.
They had a good match though.
I didn't like that finisher, but yeah.
You didn't? Yeah, that finisher was a little rough.
But yeah, and then we had a big match with Heavy Machinery and Authors of Pain.
I said I watched NXT. I missed that match.
You missed that match?
Yeah. Who won?
Really good. Authors of Pain.
Did they? I figured.
Yeah. But they set it up for a match against Authors of Pain and Sanity.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see where that goes.
Yes.
Because Dillian, what's the guy's name?
Killian Dane,
and the other guy. There's some big bastards.
So, Bobby Fish debuted against Aleister Black.
Yeah, really good match.
Tonight's tapings, Aleister Black had another match against somebody debuting.
Was it the other half of Red Dragon?
It is the other half of Red Dragon, Kyle fucking O'Reilly.
Nice.
Kyle O'Reilly debuted and has signed with NXT.
That's great.
I am super excited to see where NXT is going. Yeah. I love that in the episode of WWE 24 with Kurt Angle talked about one of the first things Triple H talked to him about is the future of NXT.
Yeah.
And how great NXT was doing. I was like, I would talk that up constantly if that was my baby too.
How nuts was it that we had Dixie Carter on?
Really cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's
The
really
fact
cool
that it
hearing her
actually-
talk when she's not screaming at the top of her lungs.
And actually, to like see the words TNA underneath her name.
And they showed the press release when he had
Yeah.
signed with TNA. Like
Yeah.
they referenced TNA.
And it was cool to like kind of reference that like one like, and I like that they talked to all the people that were in TNA at that time.
Yeah, like
Samoa
Joe and AJ.
AJ and Mickey James.
Yep.
Like they talked to them because they like, hey, that's
They were all
when
there at that time.
They were all prominent players. I mean, Mickey James is a former knockouts champion, and
Yep.
so
It was smart. It
Yeah.
was good, and it was a really great 24. And
yeah, I loved it.
with that
Awesome.
relationship, they could do that with AJ. They could do that with Samoa Joe. Like, there's a lot of places they can go, especially with that relationship with Dixie now.
Yeah.
And are you ready? Raw's in Nashville next week.
Oh wow.
You're
So
not
we're gonna get Dixie Carter on.
possibly.
Yeah.
Did you see Kurt Angle's "I love you" moment?
Yeah. So my whole story is that
And if your story is exactly what I was thinking, I dig it.
I love the fact that like one the two people that know this are Kurt and Corey Graves, and those two have always been texting back and forth.
And Corey was rumored to be in a romantic
Relationship
role
with Bailey, but
that fizzled.
that story's not happening. My idea is that it's a love story between Kurt Angle and Corey Graves.
I like that idea a lot.
And apparently, and my idea is that like, oh, they've been photographed and they're being blackmailed in a way,
Yeah.
and that's where all these text messages are going. If we're going into WWE wanted to do the gay storyline with Becky Lynch,
Yep.
and it got shot down. Mainly, I think because the fans heard about it and were just like, and we even talked about it too. Like, why are you gonna make a character gay when you should
You have
focus on
characters that
people
are
who
gay.
when people already are gay within the organization.
That's the only downside to this.
Yeah, that's the only downside. But the story didn't happen. But if they can turn this into, I think it'd be great, and I think it's hilarious.
All the options on the table are pretty great.
Yeah, you wanted him to be Canadian. I want
Well,
him to be gay.
Their wording
Or
of it,
gays, and I think it's great.
their original wording of
That's
it was,
my
"This is
dream."
something." When Kurt Angle first saw it, he said, "This is something that could ruin my career
Yeah.
and delegitimize me as a Olympic hero." Canadian, right? Like, it makes
Canadian,
total
totally
sense.
Canadian.
Someone's providing a Canadian
Oh,
birth
and somebody
certificate.
like photoshopped him next to like
Fuck.
Lance Armstrong or something.
It'd be so good, right? And then with the whole him on the phone at the end of Raw saying, "Okay, I'm proud of you, and I'll see you next week. I love you."
Love you, yeah.
So the rumor is, the big rumor that I've been hearing everywhere. Like, I've heard your rumor a bunch of places. The other rumor I'm hearing,
Oh, so you've heard my rumor actually been said by.
I heard you say it, and then
Yeah.
I've read it online
Oh
twice
wow, that's
since.
awesome.
Yep.
So I didn't know that.
You
That's cool.
you and I talked about it as it was happening on Raw. We
Yeah.
text back and forth about
Yeah.
it. But I've heard other people bring it up
Yeah.
on.
I've been
on-
really up on it for the last 3 weeks. Like I'm focused.
I've been
on
reading
this.
every rumor I could on Facebook. The main rumor that I hear going around is that he had an affair, possibly with Stephanie, which leads to a match with him with Triple H.
At SummerSlam.
I've heard another rumor that he had an affair with Dixie Carter because they're in Nashville next
And
week.
Chad Gable is their love child.
Yes. I've also heard rumor that they could possibly reveal that Jason Jordan was his love child. I pitched before we started recording
the show.
that how great would it be if we did the gay storyline, but it was with Shelton Benjamin
Yeah.
because he's cleared to
Ain't no
return.
stopping me, yeah.
Shelton's cleared to return. Why not? And you have a tiff between the two of them, and they have a match against each other at some point. I've even heard. I know this one was out there, but I've heard a rumor that Dixie may be returning or coming to WWE,
Yeah.
and that there was a possibility of a storyline because Kurt wants another match, and they're working to clear Daniel Bryan for a light schedule, like Brock Lesnar style schedule,
Yeah.
with him doing less in the ring. you
Yeah.
know? But I've heard rumor of him versus Kurt Angle, the loser being replaced by Dixie Carter. It's like, I know that's out there, but I kind of
That's
dig
funny.
it. I kind of dig it.
I was unaware that Kurt Angle broke his neck 4 times in WWE.
So was I until I watched that 24. I knew he did it at least once, but I didn't realize he kept doing it
twice
again and
in 1
again and
year.
again. Yeah,
That's nuts.
that's why. Like, I love when
Dude,
Dixie.
I watched that when I was like, holy shit.
There was a lot of stuff that was
Yeah,
really
that
great on
was-
that. I love when Dixie was talking about it. She's like, he would go into the ring and he would be amazing, and then he'd come back out and wouldn't be able to move.
Yeah,
He'd be in
wouldn't
such
be able
pain
to
that he
walk,
couldn't
yeah.
move or walk. And they even got to Samoa Joe, and he's just like, no, he's not that type. He's going to bust his ass, and the rest is going to be there.
Oh, that leads to another question. Sorry. We have one more question. Where's his Twitter at? I forgot it. C _spicy wiener. wrote us and asked, "Is Dixie Carter scheduled to air on Raw?" I think she's gonna make an appearance.
It would be great.
Yeah.
I never thought I would be wanting Dixie Carter to show up.
It's just the idea of like breaking down those walls.
Yeah.
You know, like
it's like when Bischoff showed up.
Acknowledge history. Yeah.
So,
when Bischoff showed up.
Listen to this record. Someone released records of wrestlers, and the two that stood out to me the most: John Cena's record, win-loss record, 467 wins, 194 losses, 32 draws. He has top 5 most frequently faced opponents: Randy Orton 77 times, Big Show 55 times, Edge 52, The Miz 42, and Kane 41. They also released the win-loss record of Bray Wyatt. 182 wins, 424 losses, and 10 draws. Why?
Dude.
He's a top name, let's admit that. Why?
Yeah, he just does
Is the fear? Well, obviously it's not a fear of losing.
He does not win. He does not win matches.
It's just, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Matt Hardy may be broken again.
That's always my big thing with Bray Wyatt. It's like they want to make him the new face of fear, but yet they kind of
you have to be dominant to be feared.
Yeah, he has to destroy him, put him against easier opponents to where he destroys them, and then make them feared. You know, you can't keep putting him against top guys and have him lose 50-50 or win 50-50.
Dave Meltzer reported that WWE is no longer using pyro.
Yeah, I noticed that. I've been noticing that. Yeah.
They've acknowledged it that they
all
just
pyro's
feel
been cut from entrances.
They feel wrestlers just don't need it these days.
Yeah. I'm sure it saves up a lot of money.
Yeah, you think Matt and Jeff are broken?
Oh, definitely.
I love the. You know, you want us to just fade away and become obsolete, and the whole crowd obsolete. Yeah. And then Matt's nod to it. We're a little stitched up, a little bruised, and possibly a little broken. And he even tweeted himself. He tweeted a picture with his eye busted open, and the broken Matt Hardy face. And then later on, posted a picture from him and Jeff in the ring, and said, "The celestial voices have told me that change is coming."
Yes.
So they've either cleared that lawsuit, or they're confident it's about to clear, right?
Oh yeah, easily.
Global Force Wrestling has a new tag team debuting,
and
the Akbars. And they're full-on militant Muslims.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I'll post a picture on...
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I'll post a picture on Facebook, but it's... I shared the video on my personal Facebook of the progressive liberal.
Oh, yeah, it's fantastic.
He got picked up by BBC News or something.
Yeah.
I think. He's so good, man. Such a great heel.
He's not writing me back.
Did you reach out to him?
Yeah,
we'd love to have him on the show. That'd be so great.
He's a little busy.
John Cena was in an interview, and I wanted to read this because I thought this was a great topic. John Cena was asked on why nobody acknowledges Chris Benoit. And John Cena replied and said, "It's a very difficult question, and I'll answer it like this. Oftentimes we're caught up in a person's ability and their performance. This transcends WWE. This is a problem in sports, period. It is also a problem in entertainment. People will do bad things, but if they're good at what they do, sometimes those things are overlooked. I don't believe that. I believe you should take ownership for your actions, all of them, not just the ones you performed in front of an audience. I think our company's stance on the entire situation set a precedent for athletics and a precedent for the entertaining of entertainers taking ownership for their own actions." I agree with him. I agree with his take, and Triple H's take was always that, we're going to promote these guys, and then a kid doesn't know who they are, and they Google them and find out the first thing that pops up is either like China with porn or him with a murder-suicide. Yeah. It's not good for anybody.
Nope. It's not good for business.
I don't think we have much else.
No.
I'm going through, there's not much other news. I did get a question for the podcast from TJ that said, "Is there a better rib in wrestling right now other than fuck the revival?"
It's good.
And I replied back to him, and I was like, "Is there a better rib ever?" And he goes, "Yeah, there's a better rib ever, the Money in the Bank." And I said, I said, "Elaborate." And he says, "Creative pencils you in to win a title you don't know when, sometime between 2 and 8 months, and you're forced to carry around a giant briefcase through luggage. It's a giant rib."
I was wondering if if John Cena had to carry around his briefcase.
I wonder, right?
Yeah, because that dude was. He obviously was already
set. He was the top of everything.
Yeah, he's still the top guy. So.
We Love Pro Wrestling tweeted this or posted this on Facebook, and it's such a long way to a joke, but it's so worth it. They said, "Breaking news: It seems the marriage of Ring of Honor World Champion Cody and wife Brandy Rhodes is on very shaky ground after a heated argument in their lawyer's office on Friday. Sources report the incident stemmed from a fundamental difference in the opinion after Brandy refused to sign off on the do not resuscitate orders in their living wills. When asked to comment, Cody Rhodes' sole statement was, "Fuck the revival." So it's all fake, obviously, but it's such a long way to such a great payoff.
That's something that he started.
I saw that after the revival jumped the Hardys, Matt tweeted and said, "Now us and the Bucks of Youth finally have something in common." And they shared, hashtag FTR, and the Young Bucks replied to it with a gif of Cody whispering "fuck the revival" into somebody's ear. It's got to be the best joke
That's
in
awesome.
wrestling.
Yeah,
Did you see where after Cody had won the Ring of Honor title, he got the entire crowd to yell "fuck the revival"?
No, I did not see that.
It was on an episode of Being the Elite. Someone in the audience had a sign that said FTR,
Yeah.
and he held it up and he goes, "It's that time of night again." He's all ready. 1, 2, 3, and the whole arena just screams "fuck the revival."
That's great.
And even on that episode, there's a new recruit for Ring of Honor, and they were hazing him. They beat the shit out of him and super kicked the shit out of him and threw him into a dumpster.
Yeah.
And as soon as they throw him into the dumpster, the side panel of the dumpster slides open, and it's the limo driver. And he just leans in. He's like, "Hey, fuck the revival." It's not even a guy involved with it. And there's even a gif going around of Cody with his Starbucks cup, and they wrote "fuck the revival" on his name for the cup.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's just drinking out of it.
That's great. That was a catch up and all that. That's awesome. Good to catch up.
Good fun stuff. I went to 4 Hot Topics on my trip and only found small
I
Young
failed
Bucks
to even
shirt.
mention the WWE Hobbs show last week.
Yeah,
It
you
was really
did.
good. A lot of fun. I crossed Shinsuke and AJ off my list, man.
Good job.
Yeah, it's fucking badass.
So I went on a trip with my family, and I was bummed that I didn't get to go to G1, right?
Yeah.
Super bummed that I didn't get to go to G1. Nothing wrestling going on. I've searched for wrestling t-shirts at 4 different Hot Topics. I would have brought you one back if they actually had a medium. But literally, every Hot Topic I went
Sounds
to
alright.
had one small Bullet Club and one small Young Bucks.
That's nuts.
Only one that I went to advertised that they had the Cody Rhodes shirt.
Yeah.
But those are all, they announced all 4 original shirts are being restocked in every Hot Topic,
Jeez.
along with the Villain Club, along with Increíbles
Yeah.
de Japón,
Yeah.
them, Gorillas of Destiny, the original New Japan shirt, and a mystery Hot Topic exclusive
Jeez.
t-shirt in every location now.
It's
because
cool
they're
that there's
sold out.
like a version of each one.
Yeah, and I thought it was really cool. But we go to Universal Studios.
Yeah.
And we wander around, we go ride all our rides, and we go sit down for Waterworld.
Yeah.
And the first guy is an Asian guy, and I recognize him. I'm like, I know that guy from somewhere. I know he's an actor. I just don't know from where.
Yeah.
And turns out he was on Modern Family.
Oh, okay.
He's a comedian. He's on a bunch of other stuff. I just can't. I've got to look him up, and I can't picture it where. I've got a picture with him. I'll show you one.
Yeah.
But then the bad guy comes out. The guy playing the Deacon comes out. And it's a bald guy, bald white guy.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at him and I'm thinking the whole time, I'm like, that dude looks a lot like Christopher Daniels. And I don't say anything because I mean, I don't want to say something to my wife and her be like, fucking always wrestling with you. Like, always. Like, you just think everybody is a wrestler.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that guy looks a lot like Christopher Daniels. So after the show, the Deacon comes out on the mic and he's like, we just want to thank all the cast involved. Everybody you see here is involved in TV and movies. We got to meet, you've seen Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, right?
Yeah.
The purple guy in the prison.
Okay.
Drax takes his knife and he's like, that's my favorite knife.
Yeah,
you got to meet him.
Oh, cool.
He was one of the guys on the show. Everybody involved works in TV and movies. So the Deacon's like naming everybody out and he's like, this person from Modern Family and this guy from Guardians of the Galaxy and I'm Christopher Daniels and you can see me on Netflix's Glow. And it's dead silent in my section. You could just hear me, fucking do it! And everyone just like stops and looks at me like I'm an idiot. And I'm telling my wife, I'm like, that's fucking Christopher Daniels. That's Christopher Daniels. He just lost his fucking title to Cody Rhodes like a week ago. That's fucking Christopher Daniels. And I'm like, I'm fangirling the fuck out. And so he's standing out there and he's collecting all his weapons and stuff. And he's getting ready to leave the show. And he, as he's on the mic, like he's grabbing all his weapons. He's like, thank you everybody. Have a safe drive home. Too sweet.
Yeah.
And I was all, for fucking angel! At the top of my lungs. And he doesn't even look at me or anything.
Yeah.
And so he's like, and we'll all be available for pictures and autographs after the show.
Oh,
I'm
great.
first in line for Christopher Daniels.
That's awesome.
I run up, I take a picture with him. I run up to him, I was like, hey man, huge fan of yours. I've been a huge fan from like the beginning of your career. I've followed you everywhere. Yeah. And he goes, that's why I got the restraining order. Asshole. So I take a picture with him, and Kim's taking the picture, and she's like, you should too sweet. And I was like, he just lost to the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
And he's all, no too sweets.
No too sweets.
So I got a picture. What, boo-boo? Good night. I got a picture of this little girl with Christopher Daniels. My son and I were Christopher Daniels. I fangirl out for 24 hours. It's been almost a week. Tomorrow will be a week since it happened. I'm still fucking fangirling
that's awesome,
out.
Dude, I could like sense your enthusiasm like when I saw that picture.
My first words to you, bye boo boo, good night. My first words to you, I sent you the picture and said, suck my dick.
Yep.
Like, nothing else.
I was like, I saw it on my watch first, and I was like, it's Jeremy and a guy that looks like Christopher Daniels, and my wife's like, I was like, that's awesome. And I'm just like, I'm talking to myself, like, you know, I'm like, oh, it's so cool you got to meet Christopher Daniels, and Chris is just like, who?
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is who he was.
The fallen angel Christopher
Daniels.
Daniels.
Oh my gosh. She's like, that is pretty awesome.
I started looking it up. He's been doing it for a year.
2 years, I think.
And he first got outed by Joey Ryan.
How funny.
Joey Ryan went to a show, saw him, and posted a video of him doing the show. I was like, that's so good.
Joey Ryan was
but yeah, it shows in 2016 he started doing it.
That's awesome, man.
So,
that's cool.
And he did great, man. Like, that show was amazing. There's video of it online, not the show that I was at, but there's video of him doing it online. I'll share it on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Because he does a great job. And the biggest stunt is him falling off of like a 2-story building or a tower, and it's not him. The biggest stunt was not him. It was somebody else. It was an actual stuntman because he's on fire as he takes the bump.
Cool.
But everything else he did, man, it was
that's awesome.
Pretty damn cool, man.
That's cool.
It was pretty cool. I mean, everybody else in there was great. There was a guy from Conan O'Brien and stuff like that. There was a lot of cool stuff, but the fallen fucking angel. And it was funny because we shook hands, he hugged me and everything. Yeah. My daughter met the guy who played the Mariner, Kevin Costner's role. Okay. And he's a decent looking dude. And my daughter they go to the bathroom right afterwards. And my wife's like, wash your hands. And she's like, I'm not washing this hand. Because she shook his hand. I was like, I'm not fucking showering. I hugged Christopher Daniels. I'm not showering.
I got fallen angel sweat on me.
What a fucking legend. Like,
that's cool.
I've met some wrestlers and stuff like that. And I've been pretty cool. I'm like, hey man, great to meet you.
Yeah.
We met Maria. And I didn't even nerd out as much. But it was just, I think it was just because.
We had to pay for Maria.
It was in the wild. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't at a show. It was
unexpected.
I didn't expect to run into a wrestler at Universal Studios. If I was expecting to run into a wrestler at any theme park, it would be Zack Ryder or Cody Rhodes. Yeah. But it was awesome. It was so fucking cool.
Yeah. That's great.
I'm still like,
you're still
the smile's gonna be here forever.
You still got a boner.
I do. When don't I?
On that note.
It's just because you're here.
Oh, okay. On that note, remember, Marks. You can send us your questions and comments and follow us on Twitter. You can follow our personal accounts. We'll follow Jeremy at JVader82. Follow me at Mateo83. Like us on Facebook. There you can interact with us and other fans of the show. You can also follow us on Tumblr and Instagram. If you hate social media altogether, want to ask a question, you can email us at smartmarksquestions@gmail.com. You can email smartmarksquestions@gmail.com. If you guys shop through Amazon, please use our referral link on provengamer.com. There's absolutely no added cost. Just use the link, which shows that you're a fan of the show. We'll get a little bit of help from Amazon to help keep the lights on. Remember, you can stream down, rate the show from iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and provengamer.com. Be sure to give us that 5-star frog splash rating and leave a funny review that I can read on that show. While you're there, provengamer.com, you can also check out some awesome game reviews, articles, and other podcasts such as Trophy Horse Podcast and the Nintendo Dual Screens. DUEL. Full screens.
Missed an opportunity. Switching it up, man.
Switching it up. So make provengamer.com your one-stop shop for everything gaming and wrestling related. Thanks for listening, Marks. Once again, I'm Matt. He is Jeremy. We'll catch you guys next time on the Smart Marks. Peace out.